and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Friday, March 21st. We now know it was a tornado that caused all sorts of damage in Bartholomew County. We were actually near Columbus as residents started cleaning up. One resident tells us that her family farm took a hit during Wednesday night storms.
Honestly, I just felt like crying. I mean, this has been our farm since before I was born, and it's just always been here. It's been where I grew up, and it's really hard to see it coming down like this.
Other parts of this state were hit hard as well. In Gary, the mayor actually issued a local disaster emergency after a tornado touched down there. The deputy fire chief said a woman was rescued from her home. The chief says she was taken to a hospital but is expected to be okay. In Fort Wayne, police say a teenager is dead after a shooting, while another teen and a man were also injured. Officers say they were first called to Pennsylvania Street just before 9 last night on reports of a person shot. There, police found the 3 victims with gunshot wounds. The teen boy was pronounced dead on scene, while police have not said the connection of the other teen and the man. Investigators have not released any information on a suspect or what led up to this shooting. To ITMate, the health department has given one Indianapolis apartment an emergency notice violation because of a broken elevator. News 8's Kyla Russell reports.
18 days. That's how long it's been since one woman living with a disability has left her unit inside the Turtle Creek Apartments. The Section 8 housing complex is on Indy's north side. She says she chose this apartment because of its emphasis on accessibility.
There needs to be a way to be able to leave your home and not feel trapped all the time.
This woman lives upstairs and relies on a wheelchair to get around. She asked to remain anonymous out of fear of retaliation. She says her disability already leaves her isolated. Being stuck inside 4 walls is only making it worse.
I'm missing a doctor's appointment today because the elevator is broken that I really needed to go to.
Her husband, who takes care of her, first told her the elevator was broken. She waited a week, hoping it would get fixed. With this sign still hanging on the door, she reached out to the complex for help.
We're waiting on these parts, and the parts are not easy to access. So we're going to be having to wait at least 2 weeks for the parts to come in.
The Fair Housing Center of Central Indiana tells me a landlord must either fix the issue impacting a person with a disability or provide other accommodations, like alternative housing or a hotel, even possibly providing delivery service. The apartment's parent company told me they've been in contact with the company repairing the elevator since it broke down and are working to get the parts as fast as possible.
Then 2 weeks rolled around. I didn't hear anything. I waited till 2.5 weeks, and then I emailed them again. They still, they never responded to my email about, an update.
She also has safety concerns.
With the elevator broken, I can't get down the stairs, and I'm not going to be, most likely, according to statistics, I'm not going to be even seen as a priority to get me downstairs.
She tells me when she first emailed the complex several days ago, they said the Indianapolis Fire Department knew about the issue. But the fire department told me they didn't know about the issue until I asked about it. They sent a fire marshal out a few hours later. In an emergency, it's important for IFD to know about anyone that isn't able to get out of the building on their own.
Last night, there's tornado warnings, but I couldn't get down to the ground floor. What if there was a tornado? What would I have done?
The woman also tells me she's contacted the Indiana Civil Rights Commission for help. I'm Kyla Russell for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
On to some international news. The London Fire Brigade says the fire that has shut down Heathrow Airport is under control, but that could still impact your travel plans. Air travel across the world is being disrupted as airport officials say they expect significant disruption over the coming days and that no one should travel to the airport under any circumstances until it reopens. Authorities say around 70 firefighters were on scene after an electrical substation caught fire. That was on Thursday night. They say over 16,000 people are without power in the area and 150 have been evacuated. One aviation expert laid out the potential scale of disruption the closure could cause.
I'm expecting significant turmoil. Heathrow handles about 250,000 passengers a day. It does that with about 1,300 flights a day. It's one of the biggest international airports in the world, and it's a crossroad. And so we've got literally hundreds of flights coming in from the United States and from Southeast Asia, the Middle East.
Passengers in Boston have been removed from a London-bound flight after a 3.5-hour wait on the runway. So far, flights in New York and Dallas have been canceled. We'll have much more information on this on our website, wishtv.com. While that Heathrow closure could have impact on Hoosiers traveling across the globe, FlightAware.com says that so far, 2 flights out of Indianapolis International Airport are delayed with 0 cancellations. It is not known if those delays are directly linked to the Heathrow Airport closure. Let's talk sports. It was another exciting overtime win for the Pacers as they took on the Brooklyn Nets at Cambridge last night. In overtime, the Pacers down 2, Ken Johnson looking to tie, but Miles Turner comes in with a huge block. Turner and Benedict Mathurin both had double-doubles. The Pacers won 105-99. 3 Indiana women's teams will tip off in the NCAA tournament today. 9-seed IU will take on number 8-seed Utah today in South Carolina. That's at 1:30. The Fighting Irish will host the first-round game against Stephen F. Austin in South Bend. That game tips off at 2. And Ball State will tip off in the NCAA tournament for just the second time in program history. The Cardinals will take on number 5-seed Ole Miss tonight. That game tips off in Waco, Texas at 6. When it comes to the weather, Mother Nature is switching things up. Storm Track 8 says it will be warmer with increasing clouds. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
Some better days ahead after some grossness yesterday. Live look at Lucas Oil right now. It is all dark right now this morning. 28 degrees, southwest wind at 7. Winds are not a tremendous issue. Clear sky overhead does make it feel pretty cold. Wind chills are into the lower 20s this morning. 17 degrees colder than 24 hours ago. So it is a significant dip from where we were this time yesterday morning. However, you could see some warmer air building back out west, Iowa, Missouri, across the Mississippi River. That milder air will head our direction as we go throughout the day today. But you have a tremendous ridge of high pressure down south. And it is crystal clear, basically from the Mississippi River on east. We'll see some of these clouds that are marching through Iowa and Missouri and now into western Illinois. Some of those will start heading our way. But look, I think it's going to be a very bright day today. And it should be a far better day in terms of temperatures. 46 at noon, 57 for your high later this afternoon. That's a significant warm up from yesterday afternoon. Of course, we were only hanging out in the 30s for much of the day. If there is any hang up about the day today, it will be a little breezy, not wind advisory type of breezes, but noticeable for sure if you're spending some time outside. Gusts likely get to around 30 miles per hour later on this afternoon. Warmer, breezy day ahead. I've got a couple of rain chances that I'm eyeing as we gear up for this weekend, but I do think we'll have at least some dry time for the weekend as well. And I do think we're going to start gradually warming things up. A nice little trend setting up for the last week of March. We'll talk more about that in my Storm Track 8 forecast coming your way in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Friday, March 21st. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.